Thursday night, the final of this homestand for Texas A&M. And the first pitch is a strike. And we are underway here at Davis Diamond. That is Jenna Bouillon behind the plate. Brian Crochet is at first. And Annette Bergman is at third. Tinsley, the second baseman, is a .316 hitter. She hails from Aubrey, Texas. She's a freshman. No homers, 6 runs driven in. Folks, this team can run. And I mean run, run, run. They have 106 stolen bases. They are number 6 in the nation in stolen bases. So if they get on, they are going to force the issue here this evening. That's outside. Counts a ball and a strike. While we got a sec, we'll give you the Aggie defense for you with Grace in the circle. Kramer, Allie, and Amari are your outfielders left to right. They are shaded in. And then KP, Coco, KK, and Maya all the way around as usual. That's Grayson Coleman behind the plate. That's slap to third, and KP will throw to first. And the speedster Tinsley off the bases here. 1 down here in the first inning. Always so key, I think, Donna, to keep those speedster slappers off the bases. They can cause so many problems. We see the Aggies do it to other teams.
Yeah, and especially with 106 stolen bases. Think about how many attempts they're making too, but they're going to be safe most of the time, which is why Grayson Coleman's got to.
That's slapped at third. KP trying to backhand it, kicks off of her and goes into the middle of the field there off the bat of Kayla Zaid, who's a .306 hitter. And so we'll see how they score that one as Prairie View has the first base runner of the ball game. That was hit pretty hard off the bat, and with KP playing in, Zaid able to get to first base.
Yeah, that's a really tough play. I mean,
yeah.
She made great contact on that.
Here's Mia Nunez, the left fielder, another left-handed bat. And that one is inside for a ball. Nunez is a junior out of Navasota right down the road. .326 hitter, 3 homers, 17 runs driven in. So Zaid at first base on, let's see if it's a hit or an error there. And Nunez at the plate. We're just underway in the top of the first inning. There's a strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Looks like they scored that a hit.
Yeah, well, that's the, yeah, okay. I would agree with that. That's a really tough play for a third baseman playing that.
Especially, I was just going to say, especially because she was pulled in.
Yeah. So a single for Zaid, and that one is slapped down the line in left field. That will land 2 feet foul off the bat of Nunez, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Aggies have been very, very good here at Davis Diamond. 19-4 on the season. 4 of their 5 losses this year have come here. They've been to some pretty good teams. Texas Tech, Florida twice, Alabama once. The lone loss away from Davis was against Oklahoma State in Clearwater for A&M. That pitch misses inside. 2-2 the count now to Mia Nunez. The Panthers, we told you in the open, 16-14. They're 10-1 in SWAC play, leading the West. That's down 3-2. They've won 6 of their last 7 games. They're coming off of a sweep of Alcorn in SWAC play over the weekend, and then they just lost yesterday to UTSA at home in Prairie View by a 7-1 score. There's a half-hearted check swing and a miss there by Nunez. And that's an out, a strikeout. You can tell by Nunez's Janiyah Thomas, other left-handed hitting batter, a center fielder. Pitch taken inside for ball 1. Thomas wears number 10. She's a senior out of Houston, a transfer from the University of Houston. And on the season, .355 hitter with a home run and 24 runs driven in. Ball cued foul, third base side, and the count is a ball and a strike. Vernon Bland in the third base coaching box for Prairie View. He has led this team to a ton of success in his 13th season at Prairie View. They've made 3 NCAA tournament appearances, including 2 of the last 3 seasons. That's an off-speed pitch high, 2-1. And if they stay on track, it is likely or possibly, fairly possible that you could see Prairie View back here in regional play in May. 2-1 pitch, runner is going, pitches inside. The throw down is a little bit to the left of the bag, and sliding in safe is Kayla Zaid. That is her 9th of the season. And the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Stolen base.
It's a great jump by Zaid.
Actually, we had a runner left early.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. I thought I saw Brian Crochet's arm stick out. Nice replay by our 12MP crew. So we have a runner left early by Kayla Zaid, and that will do it for Prairie View in the first 15 stolen bases to lead the team. 41 runs scored in 36 games to also lead the team. Flash's bunt, takes the bat back. That is a strike at 61 miles an hour. Aggies in their white pants with the maroon script Texas A&M tops. Prairie View in a cream uniform with purple Prairie View across the chest. There's a grounder to second, low throw, and a nice pick at first base by Garza to get KP for out number 1. Much like in the first inning for the Aggies, Donna, keeping that speed off the bases is so critical.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think Tinsley may have felt the pressure a little bit at second base with how quickly KP can get down the line, just maybe rush that throw a little bit. But nice pick by Garza.
Here's Amari, and she smokes it into center field. Big surprise. Man, stay hot, Amari. It's been a while since I've seen an Aggie go on a heater like this. Maybe Ali Enright. I think it was last year, the start of last year, maybe 2 years ago, but Amari Harper just cannot be stopped right now.
Her swing looks so pretty. That pitch, low in the zone, but she does a great job of getting down there to get the pitch and then drives through it with her legs. That's how she has so much pop.
Here's the SEC Player of the Week, Maya Perez. She'll bounce the first pitch foul in front of the Aggie bullpen on the left side. Maya, the sophomore out of Corona, is hitting .457 on the season. 10 home runs, 51 runs driven in. Listen to this week she had last week. 786 batting average. That's 11 for 14. 3 home runs, 2 doubles, 13 runs driven in, and 8 runs scored. That's in 5 games, folks. There's a wild pitch back to the screen. You heard it clip off our crowd mic. And a wild pitch will move Amari to second base, and the count is 1-1 on Maya. But what an unreal week for Maya Perez at the plate. So the count 1-1, 1 out, runner at second for Maya Perez. Cues that one foul. And very poor effort by Russ Heffley in the first base coaching box, trying to stop that with his foot. And he'll hear about that as he gets back into the dugout.
Get Hallie back out there.
Yeah.
No, you know what? To your point, I mean, obviously a phenomenal weekend by the numbers for Maya, but how about the season she's been having in general? She has been so consistent since day one.
It's down 2-2.
And we've talked to her about, you know, what was the approach coming in this season. She felt like she was working really hard. We heard the same from the coaching staff, and it showed. And she said, you know, the support of her teammates has really helped as well. Change up
and a swing and a miss, strike 3. Maya waited on it, and just missed time to swing. How about a 39-mile-an-hour changeup to get her for out number 2?
What a pitch by Massey. That thing just floated over the plate and then also fell off a table at the end, too.
2 outs. Here's Mack. She'll cue that one into the circle. That's why it's a Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Strike 1 to Janiyah Thomas, who was at the plate when Kayla Zaid was called out for leaving early. So Thomas, the U of H transfer, take a strike, 0-1. Slaps it to the right side on 3 hops. KK Dement, so smooth over there at first base, or at second base. She'll throw it to first for the out. It's one thing I love about watching KK Dement play too, Donna. And her numbers have been up and down, and mainly because she was so fire hot at the start of the year. She's not let it affect that defense out there.
No, and just as we talk about her smooth swing at the plate, her defense is just as pretty. She makes everything look effortless.
So here's Hannah Garza, the first baseman, another left-handed batter in the lineup. That is outside. 1-0. Garza wears number 30. She's a senior out of Lyford, Texas. 227 hitter, playing in her 19th game. Just 5 hits and 22 at-bats, so limited at-bats. 3 runs driven in. Lines it into the glove of Kennedy Powell, reaching towards the hole. Nice play there by KP at third base on the line out.
Oh, what a snag over there at third base. Kennedy Powell getting
It's a 66-mile-an-hour drop ball called strike to Michelle Meeks. catcher. Meeks wears number 32, a freshman from Katy. 190 hitter, 8 runs driven in. There's a swing and a miss. And the count is 0-2.
Grace doing a nice job of working ahead. These pitchers, these Aggie pitchers are going in with a plan today. They're trying to focus on what they need to do.
Well outside, a ball and 2 strikes.
And what I mean by that is, you know, hitting certain spots, making certain pitches in certain situations, and here's a really good opportunity to work on that.
Grace ready, 1-2 pitch. Takes something off of that one, misses outside. Again, the plan, we'll see if the Aggies stick with it. The plan is to give Grace a couple innings, get Emily Levitt in for a few, and Sydney Lessentine as well, to work them all to get them some innings heading into this Georgia series this weekend. 2-2. Inside and down, it's fouled back to the net. Prairie View, I know we got a lot of California fans to watch, a lot of the kids on the team from there. Prairie View is about 40 miles away from here. It's on the way down to Houston. This is one of the system schools. The Aggies play them as often as they can. There's a very quick little bus ride up here for the Panthers to match up with the Aggies here. 2-2 pitch and a called strike 3 on a changeup right at the knees. What a pitch from Grace Sparks.
Nice job.
Hit streak as she stands in. And I would argue maybe the best beneficiary of this lineup switch by Texas A&M. That pitch is high, 2-0. She went from the leadoff spot to the 5-hole, and I think it just opens her game up so much more.
Well, we talked about her versatility time and time again. She can slap, she can drop a bunt, she can swing away. And I think sometimes when she was at the top of the lineup, it was just, okay, we want Coco to get on base. But now you have to, you're making the defense kind of second guess. Well, what's she going to do in the 5-hole? There's runners on base. She's been standing in and swinging away more.
That's a strike called as Coco had flipped her bat towards the dugout, so that is a strike, 3-1. Which means the strike zone will probably open up just a tiny bit in this next pitch.
Yep.
That's up and in, though. Ball 4. So Coco will draw the walk, and for her that is a walk number 10 of the season. So speed at first. Expect the Aggies are going to try to use it here early. Here's Allie Enright, the senior out of Santa Clarita. 304 hitter, 5 home runs, 21 runs driven in. It was down for a ball, 1-0. Allie has driven in 7 runs in this 6-game streak here. The lineup switch happened, we keep talking about, happened for the Sunday Alabama game. So it's 6 games long. This is now game 7 in that stretch. That ball is swung on and popped in the air with the runner going into shallow left field. The shortstop, Talley, will back up and make the catch. Coco goes back to first, 1 out. And when we're talking about the lineup switch, what the Aggies did was they pulled Coco down to 5, moved KP up, tucked Amari right behind her, and then went Maya, Mac, Coco, obviously, Allie, and it's really just created so many dynamics for this program and for this team. We'll see if it stays going. Here's KK Dement, the freshman out of Selma, California. Runners going, pitch bounces in, throw is wide, and it bounces off the glove of the shortstop and into right center field, and that will move Coco to third base. Line foul over the head of the third baseman, McKinley, and in Coco. And the count's now a ball and a strike to KK Dement, who is hitting .277 on the year, 8 doubles, 6 home runs, and 25 runs driven in. One out. Runner at third here in the bottom of the second, scoreless in this ball game. Fouls it off right side, 1-2. That one at 62 miles an hour from Kaylin Massey. Massey, last start, came against Alcorn over the weekend, 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, picked up the win. Pitched against UTSA yesterday, 2 no-hit innings, struck out 3. Lined up the middle, base hit. KK Dement, the freshman, puts the Ags on the board.
Nice piece of hitting by KK. That one, again, low in the zone, but does a good job of just staying in her legs, getting the barrel down there, and just putting something back up the middle. When you got a runner on third, it's a no-doubter to push a runner across.
Ball 1 to Grayson Coleman, the junior catcher out of Hanford, California. 120 hitter, 2 doubles, a run driven in, but don't let that fool you right now. I mean, she was off to a very slow start, obviously, offensively this year. This is fouled back. Donna, that almost had your name written on it. Hit the net. That might have been your opportunity right there. You look at you.
Yeah, I think it was. I
yeah.
think that was it.
Yeah. Grayson's been hitting the ball so hard the last week or so. So hopefully that'll continue for her in the Aggies. Grounds this one foul, just foul on the left side of third base. She's hit a ball off the base of the wall. She smoked one into right center field. She's even hit into some hard, loud outs, too. And that just, with hitting, it's just got to continue to breed confidence. McKay's at first, 1-2 pitch. Grayson hard grounder, just off the glove of the second baseman into right field. Grounding second on the way to third is KK Dement, and Grayson Coleman staying hot. She smashes that one through the right side of the infield.
But it gets through and heads up base running by KK, seeing that one going into right.
Strike one to Kramer Eschte, the senior left fielder out of Brenham. 309 hitter, starting her 37th game, 11 runs driven in for her. She's got runners at the corners and 1 out here in a 1-0 game in the second. And that's a strike on the outside corner, 0-2. Prairie View has the third baseman McKinley in quite a bit, which I get because Kramer has the ability, not with 2 strikes probably, but usually has the ability to put the ball on the ground. Off the plate, 1-2.
Yeah, especially with first and third. You could be thinking that Kramer could drop a bunt, but she's not going to here with the count being 1-2.
There's a 1-2 pitch. Change up, floats in, and it's a called strike 3. 38 miles an hour.
That is a deadly pitch. 62 to 38 is an insane differential.
Watch this.
And it'll just lock you up. That's almost a knuckleball coming in there.
All 1 to KP. Now 2 outs, runners at the corner. She's 0 for 1 today. Yeah, and that's the whole thing about the changeup is if you can get it over the plate, it's all about that release. And if you can just get everybody to hesitate for a split second. That's a base hit up the middle as KP drives home KK Dement, and it's 2-0 Texas A&M on KP's 20th RBI of the season.
A lot of pop on that one. 69 off the bat for Kennedy Powell. Drives in another run for the Aggies. You see a lot of them right now just hitting it where it's pitched, not trying to do too much. And these base hits are going to help score runs.
Grounded to the right side by Amari to second base, and underhand flip to first will retire her for out midweek a week ago Tuesday against Sam Houston. There's a check swing and a miss by Diane McKinley, the third baseman. 0-1. Lev went 5 innings in the run rule. Complete game, 2 hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Looked really, really good in that one. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Tries to bunt, takes the bat back, and it just misses off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to McKinley. By the way, where's number 1, a junior out of Bushnell, Florida. 288 hitter with 11 runs driven in and 16 stolen bases. Misses. And it counts 2 balls and a strike.
16 stolen bases for McKinley. The Aggies do not want to see her on the base paths.
No. There's a swing and a miss, high and out of the zone, 2-2. And when Levitt's going, Donna, you've watched her enough. She'll work up and down. Change speeds as well, but she doesn't. She isn't a one-dimensional pitcher when she's really rolling along.
Well, that's what makes her so effective when she is rolling. It's that she can go up and down. She's got the change up.
That ball in the air to shallow left field, and running out to make the catch is Coco. Hung up in the air in this heavy air, just enough for Coe to get under it. It's not an easy play, too, with playing in like that against a slapper.
Yeah, no, she made that look easy, but Coco's got good range and able to get back. I like that she made the call that was hers. She was taking it. That might have been tough for Kramer to get to.
One out is Aaron Talley, the shortstop. Left-handed hitting senior out of Spencer, Oklahoma. High pop-up, shallow right field. Coming in is Amari, and she'll make the catch. 2 outs.
You know, you're talking about Levitt, just her last performance, or her last start against Sam Houston that we obviously were here for on Tuesday. She just looked so confident and just felt really complete. You said 5 strikeouts, but the even bigger number there is no walks.
And there's a strike called to the left-handed hitting Isabella Rodriguez, the 9-hole hitter. 250 on the season, 12 runs driven in. She's a sophomore out of League City. Two nothing Aggies. 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the 3rd inning. Inside hits the hip of the batter. Grounded out to third base in the 1st inning. She's 0 for 1 today. Tinsley, tons of speed, as we told you, the freshman. Pitch high and inside. Runners going as it pops off the glove of Grayson Coleman. And into second base goes Rodriguez. We'll see how they score that. Grayson had to kind of come up out of her crouch to get that one. Kicked off her glove. One-0 pitch. Tries to push a bunt. Couldn't get it, and the count is 1-1. Pass ball charge to Grayson Coleman. The runner at 2. First runner in scoring position today for Prairie View. 2 outs. Here's the 1-1 to Tinsley. Pokes it foul onto the net. Panthers 10-1 in SWAC play as they head into a weekend set. They have a 3-game lead in the Western Division of the SWAC. Last weekend, we told you they swept Alcorn State on the road. They outscored Alcorn 35-5 in that 3-game series. They'll be hosting Southern this weekend down in Prairie View. 1-2 pitch. Curve misses down and in, 2-2.
Just missing.
Trackman says it might have caught the bottom corner of the zone. Maybe. But a borderline pitch. 62 miles an hour. 2-2. And a swing and a miss. Went outside and got her. That's a strikeout there for Emily Levitt coming to town. Huge series. Aggies, from this point forward, after tonight, are done with non-conference except for 1 game. They play Louisiana in late April. Every other game, the rest of the way, is an SEC game. We have a new pitcher. It's Brielle Moreno for Prairie View. And the first pitch comes in and hits Maya on the elbow guard, and she'll trot down to first base. That was very casual by Maya. Moreno, 6-4 with a 3.99 earned run average, her 17th appearance of the year. 233 opponent batting average, 70 innings of work to lead the staff. We told you this was likely going to be a bullpen game for both teams here with big conference series on deck. So Maya to first on the hit by pitch. Here's Mack. And the first pitch is an off-speed pitch at 49 miles an hour, called a strike. Mack grounded out with the first pitch she saw to end the 1st inning. She is 0 for 1 today. Has reached base in 10 consecutive games entering today. That pitch misses, 1-1. Maya 8th in the country in runs driven in. 50 entering the game, and that might be a little more. Deep center field, look out. Scattering the fans out there at center. And Mac Barbara with a 2-run shot. That is career home run number 50 for the grad transfer. 4-0, Texas A&M.
That is a bomb.
It's a ball taken to Coco Woolley. So Mac Barbara, again, career home run number 50. Congratulations to her. Her 5th of the season. We were talking about Maya being ranked so high in the RBI total in the country. Well, Mac's now got 37. That's a ball smoked on the second base side. Great play. Going to ground is Tinsley, and she will, from her knees, throw out Coco at first for out number 1. But when these two are going, Donna, this Maya Mac 1-2 combination, whatever order you put them, that is a royal pain for opponents to deal with.
Yeah, because a lot of times, what are you going to do with whoever's up first, Maya or Mac, knowing that you've got the next on deck?
Off-speed pitch misses to Allie, 1-0. So 4-0 Aggies. So yeah, between those two now, you got 15 home runs. And let's see here. I love doing live math. That is 88, I believe, RBIs between the two. That's a big problem. That's outside 2-0. Great problem for us.
Yeah,
big problem for the opponents. There's a strike called, 2-1. Enright herself has 5 home runs. So if you quickly run down the Aggie home run numbers as a team, that was home run number 33, by the way, on the year. Allie waits on a changeup and drives it deep into the Aggie bullpen, foul, 2-2. So Aggie home run leaders as we stand now. Donna, Maya with 10, KK 6, Allie 5, Mac 5, and Amari with 4. Those are kind of your top 5 in home runs.
How about Amari? I think coming into this year, she had 2 or 3 career home runs.
1.
Was it 1 coming into this year? It was just 5, the Auburn. Yeah.
It was last year.
Yeah, last year. My goodness.
2-2 pitch, roped to second, knocked down by Tinsley, and the throw to first is not in time. Allie beats it out. That was an absolute ball, was hit so hard. That pitch is down below the knees to KK Dement, 1-0. Cannot put into words how hard that is. When you hear the number 75, it's hard to kind of relate that, but remember that you're only a little more than 60 feet, maybe 70 at most from the plate. KK Dement goes opposite field into the corner and right. That's going to hit at the base of the wall. Rounding second is Allie Enright. They're going to stop her at third base. Throw coming in, and KK Dement ropes a double off the very base of the wall in right. Lineup. There's a strike to Grayson Coleman, 0-1. Grayson had a single through the right side back in the second inning. So the Aggies now 7 hits in the game, second and third, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Sails in low, 1-1. And that's the thing, too, is Jeff Harger told us this before the season. Yeah, we want home runs. We're just trying to drive the ball. He said, I could see a scenario where we do get a lot of doubles. Some of those are going to carry out. But the Aggies have not had to live and die by the home run. There's a squeeze play, popped up on the bunt, and it's caught over here on the left side in foul territory by the catcher, Meeks. Heads up by Allie Enright, recognizing it and going right back to third base.
Yeah, definitely heads up. As soon as you see that ball in the air, you gotta head back to third quickly.
Here's Kramer. It's off the plate, ball 1. So again, if you come up to the plate with the intention to drive the ball, and that's been the nice thing is, a couple years ago, I would say the Aggies I would say they lived and died by the home run, but they needed the home run to really generate some crooked numbers. That ball bounces in, gets away from the catcher, rolls towards the Aggie dugout, and the wild pitch will bring Allie home with the 5th run of the ball game for Texas A&M.
Heads up base running by Allie Enright. You got to get a good jump if you're going to go on something like that. But no hesitation over at third base.
So 2-0 now the count to Kramer, 2 outs. KK is now at third base. That pitch misses off the plate, 3-0. Drive the ball. Mari's a great example on most of the home runs. They've been like line drive type home runs that have just carried. Outside, ball 4 to Kramer. Obviously, the last one she hit was just an absolute moonshot. But the doubles will lead to home runs. But A&M, with those doubles, just generating so much offense.
Yeah, and it's part of it is the approach. I think the other part of it is, like you said, when you're not trying to force home runs and you're not thinking about how can I hit this ball out. But we've been talking so much about the exit velo off of a lot of these balls. And I know one, it's because we have the information directly in front of us that we're able to do that.
We're nerds and we love stats.
100%. But I think what that also proves is that they're going up there and they're putting their A swing, as Coach Ford likes to call it, on those pitches. And that makes a difference too. Because if you're trying to hit the ball hard and drive it somewhere, home runs will come.
For Prairie View. Side to Kennedy Powell. So runners at the corners in a 5-0 game here in the third inning. Two in the second, 3 here in the third. That misses outside. Moreno is trying to paint that outside corner, Donna, and she is missing. It's not a strike. But she's not missing by a ton, but she just can't. She can't get over the zone. The Aggies are being patient. That's well off the plate and down, and now it's 3-0, and you can hear the ball chant going. The fans down in section 109 and some of the ones on top of the visiting dugout getting after it. Grounded slowly off the bat. This is trouble. Charging is Talley and no play. There, Kramer slips as she went around second. They tried to throw back to get her, threw it into center. That'll allow her to get back to second base. But an infield single by KP, just a little cue shot off the end of the bat, will make it 6-0 Texas A&M.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, really nothing Talley could do with it. And Kramer rounded. She thought no one was covering third. She slipped and fell, was able to get back to the bag. The throw into center did help her, but it would have taken a pretty darn good throw back to get her. So an RBI for KP, her second of the game. This pitch is a strike on the outside corner to Amari. This is the 9th batter of the inning here for Texas A&M. They have a 6-0 lead. Amari is 1 for 2 today. Her hit streak now to 7 games with that first inning single. Speed pitch, that is a strike at 47 miles an hour, 0-2. Amari pops it off the end of the bat into shallow center field and racing in and not able to get it as the center fielder hits the ground. In to score is Kramer. It's Amari with a bloop single into center. They were playing so deep.
A little bit more communication by the Panthers out there. Again, when it's in a spot like that, sometimes it's a little bit tough to get to regardless of where you're coming from. But Thomas might have been able to call Tinsley and Rodriguez off of that.
That's going to force a pitching change for Prairie View. Daniel, we'll go ahead and keep it right here as the Aggies have now forced the third pitcher of the game to come in for the Panthers. It is going to be Madeline Martinez. There's a look at her, the senior out of Killeen. Martinez on the season, 0-4 record with a 4.84 earned run average. It's going to be her 13th appearance, 35 in the third innings. Does have the team's only save of the season. She has 14 walks and 20 strikeouts in those 35 in the third innings. The opponent's hitting .241 against her, and if I'm Vernon Bland and Prairie View, I'm just trying to find a way to get out of this inning. Aggies have showed power with the home run. They've showed patience, and they've got a little bit of good fortune, I would say, on their side. Little bloops, little dinks, field singles. We've all had these innings where you just cannot get out of the field and get into your dugout.
Yeah, and especially with 2 outs, you're just trying to limit the damage and try and keep this under an 8-run ball game.
We've got the bullpen getting after it again. Normally they've been, like we talked about, they've just been sitting around doing nothing, and now they're showing a little energy. I love it. It's outside to Maya Perez, 1-0. So Martinez, the pitcher. I need energy out of them. I also need them to make a little more effort on pop fouls. Like
we'll see what happens. Not too many over there.
Outside, 2-0 to Maya, hit by a pitch in the third inning and scored. She's 0 for 1 officially in this game. Her batting average sitting at .453.
That was the top of this inning.
That was the top of this inning. I guess I should make the note of that, right? Ground ball to the first base side, picked there by Garza, who will step on the bag, and that will finally put an end. It was ironically in Tempe, in a regional hosted by Tricia Ford and Arizona State. Matt caught for San Diego State. So she is behind the plate for Texas A&M. Ball 1 to Kayla Zaid here to begin this 4th inning. So a whole slew of changes for Texas A&M with the 7-0 lead. That is outside. You might wonder, is this brand new for her? I mean, yes, it's been 3 years in a game. She's been catching quite a few bullpens, has Mag. But she's caught. Like, she caught in travel ball. She caught at San Diego State some as well. So it's not an unfamiliar position for her. Getting the plate there today. That's down. 3 balls and no strikes. And, I don't know how much we're going to see it this year, but what it does do is it starts to open up your lineup if you're Texas A&M even more. Whereas right now, Frankie Vrajel, who has done nothing to deserve, I would say, not being in the lineup. With Amari being so fire hot, Frankie just can't put her in the lineup right now. So if you put Mac back there, that's a ball, a 4-pitch walk to begin the 4th inning. It opens it up, as you're seeing right now. Amari's now in at second, or she could play first, right? And then you've got moved positions around. Frankie out there, Mac behind the plate. Maya can still DP, Mac can still hit. The opportunities really start to build for Texas A&M.
Well, that's exactly why I think they're trying it out here. Just seeing what works, and it just speaks to the depth that the Aggies have sitting on the bench with how many players are deserving of being in this lineup, but you just have so many hitters. And again, it's a great problem to have. But yeah, finding different ways that you can kind of tinker with the defensive positioning to open up the lineup so that you've got even more bats is definitely helpful.
So now Emily Levitt has yet to throw a strike in the inning, and the Prairie View dugout is returning the favor to the Aggie fans.
Ooh.
2-0 the count. That one misses just off the plate. 3-0 now. So a 4-pitch walk followed by a 3-0 count here.
This is taking a turn.
Not a turn I expected tonight.
No, not on my bingo card.
No. Here's a 3-0. And that is a strike called on the outside corner. Love it.
I do love it. It's
gotta
fun.
have fun
It's
at the park,
right?
man. I love it. 3-1 the count to Mia Nunez, who's 0 for 1 today. Swing and a miss. The count is full. 2 scores I'm really keeping an eye on tonight. We're going to start in Athens, Georgia. That's where we will be on Saturday. How about Mercer up 5-1 on number 16 Georgia, heading to the 4th inning at Jack Turner Stadium. Well, that's the first score. This is 3-2. And a swing and a miss. Levitt bounces back. Shania Thomas 0 for 1 in the ball game. 7-0 Aggies here in the top of the 4th. Slaps it down the left field line. It lands foul, about a foot for strike 1. The other game we're looking at, this is a big one, and it is over. 8th ranked Florida State in Tallahassee defeats number 2 Florida by a score of 4-0. So interesting of a game for me. We've seen both these teams. We've beaten both these teams. We've lost, obviously, to Florida, but once again, it just starts to shine those 2 wins the Aggies have in Tallahassee up even more. So that game is over. That ball's hit well into left field. Moving over is Kelsey Mathis. She'll make the catch. Runner will hold at first base. It's out number 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, those wins against Florida State already looked really good, but when they go and beat Florida, it makes that look even better.
2 down. Santa Garza out of Lyford, Texas, lined to KP at third base on a really nice catch. That was in the 2nd inning. First pitch is a ball. That's a changeup from Lev. 7-0 Aggies. They've out-hit Prairie View 9-1 in this one. A&M looking to extend the win streak to 7 games on the season. Runner's going, pitches down, throw down to second, and the tag, and safe. Sliding in just under the tag from KK DeMint is Kayla Zaid. That is her 9th of the season. She was called for leaving early in the 1st inning. That one she's able to get in.
That was pretty close.
Yeah.
see. Oh, she gets in there.
Yeah.
That's not a bad throw, though.
That's a good throw.
That's a good
sure.
throw.
2-0 the count to Hannah Garza. Now runner at second. Off the plate, 3 balls and no strikes. And we told you in the open Prairie View, that is now stolen base number 107 on the season for them. That's 6th in the country. The Aggies have seen the team that leads the nation in stolen bases. Southeastern Louisiana has 129 stolen bases. 3-0. That's high, and that's a walk. Second walk of the inning for Lev. Think about that.
That's
129, even 107 stolen bases in, what do we got, 31 games? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Elite speed, and it's going to make them a problem for their league as they fight their way through it.
Yeah, because that's not even including total attempts. That's how many times you're safely taking bases. And again, that's dangerous when you're here, when you're Prairie View and you're able to get runners on base like this. If you can take those extra 60 feet, get that much closer to scoring position, I mean, you're just setting the table for some of your bigger hitters in the middle of the lineup to get up there and drive them in.
Vernon Bland's going to go to the bench and get his one of his top hitters, Reagan Green, who is going to have the night off. 333 average, 13 runs driven in, a right-handed hitter out of Missouri City, a sophomore. First pitch strike from Emily Levitt. So 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 on for Prairie View here in the 4th inning. It's a 7-0 Aggie lead. Up and in. 1-1 the count. Levitt second only to Emily Kennedy in career innings pitched. Started her career at Minnesota and is now in year 3 here at Texas A&M. Here's the 1-1. Curveball fouled off the end of the bat. 1-2. We've seen her, she's diversifying her pitches tonight. We've seen the curve, seen the drop, seen the change, seen the rise. I mean, she's got quite a few options to go to.
Yeah, I think we've seen that throughout her almost 2 innings of work. Just want to see her locate some of these a little bit closer to the zone. They're not all supposed to be over the plate.
1-2. Change up. That falls in just low. 2-2. I would argue, too, that one of her most devastating pitches for her is a change. It doesn't look spectacular tonight, so she's kind of, and I'm sure they're working on different things as well throughout the game. Most of the changes we've seen have been down, and Prairie's been able to lay off it. But her changeup is a thing of beauty when it is on.
Oh, yeah.
2-2 pitch. That one grounded at short. KK DeMett, flawless to Mac. She's 1 for 2 now in this ball game. Who's on deck? Who we got there? We'll find out. It's one of the fun things about softball when they start moving positions around. It's like, we'll see who's going to hit. Pitch is down, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Especially when those defensive changes come
Scout.
first. And that's what it's looking like.
Yeah, looks like Scooter's going to come pick up a bat. That was one of the things we talked to Tricia about before the game was, mixed into this stretch of games where the Aggies have been really putting up big numbers. That's a ball, 2-1. Is we've gotten to see some kids that don't normally get to hit, and they've seen success. And so it's been a whole lot of fun to watch the teammates really cheer on. Kelsey Mathis is on deck. It's like scouts in the hole. Really watch the teammates cheer their teammates on, the kids that don't get to play much, and that's really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this whole team, a lot of it, we don't see, but they're practicing together day in and day out. They're all working hard too. So.
Oh, yeah. It's outside, and that's a 5-pitch walk to Mac Barbara to begin this 4th inning. Oh, looky here. We also have a new third base coach. Tricia Ford's going to come talk with Jenna Bullion. There's Kelsey Mathis. He's going to hit here. Probably going to get a pinch runner here. Mac is now having a conversation with Brian Crochet, the first base umpire over there. He's probably critiquing her catching ability. Now Hef's over there talking as well. So here's Kelsey. .429 hitter, 3 for 7 at the plate, 2 runs driven in, 13 runs scored. Most of those as a pinch hitter. She'll take a strike, 0-1. There's Hallie Harger coaching third base for Texas A&M. Looks like Coach Harger is going to step back into the dugout. Hallie got a little first base action last week when Heff was out. That's a down, 1-1, so now she's coaching third base. A little bit more responsibility. There's Heff over at first. A little more responsibility on the third base side.
A little bit.
Just a tad. There she is. It's outside, 2-1. And she's standing way back, as she should.
Good call.
With these
Good
right-handed
call.
batters at the plate. 2-1 to Kelsey Mathis, the freshman out of Waco. High and out of the zone, 3 balls and 1 strike. Mac Barber's at first here in the 4th. If the Aggies can get that 8th run home, they'll just need 3 outs in this next 5th inning. Mac's still got the orange nails, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Kelsey Mathis, base hit right field. 4th hit of the season for Kelsey. Kind of inside out of that one, and that is hit number 10 on the day for Texas A&M.
Kelsey Mathis has done a really nice job with her opportunities.
Yeah.
That ball came back over the plate. And like you said, then she just kind of inside out of it, flared one to right field. But every opportunity that she's had, whether it be at the plate or in the outfield, she's just taken them and either had a really nice at bat or, you know, made a good catch in the outfield. And
yeah,
all of that makes an impression.
Oh, for sure. And you can see because she's getting more and more playing time.
Yeah.
Here's Scout Lovell hitting for Allie Enright, the sophomore out of Lovelady. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. 0-1. Scout 0 for 3 on the season. 21 games now for her. Again, very much used as a pinch runner, but very rare opportunities to hit. She'll foul this one back onto the screen. Scout looking for her first hit as an Aggie. She is 0 for 4 career at the plate, 3 walks. So not a lot of opportunities. This is another one of these kids that get a base hit here, watch that dugout. The 0-2 pitch. Bounces in, hit her in the foot. So got hit by a bounced in 0-2 pitch, and that is going to load the bases for Texas A&M. We'll bring up KK DeMint. Single, double, 2 runs scored and a run driven in this one, and that'll bring the pitching coach out to talk with Martinez.
That's a throwback.
Yeah, that is throwback. She's way too young to know that. KK DeMint pop foul into the stands for strike 1.
You're allowed to take home that souvenir, courtesy of the Dixie Chicken.
Haven't had any balls hit at Evan tonight, have we? Our photographer?
No.
Yeah, he'd probably drop it anyways.
Dang.
Oh, I just need to see better. He's over there in the bullpen. I see him. Here's the 0-1 pitch with the bases loaded. That's way high. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Walk, base hit, hit by pitch here in this 4th inning for Texas A&M. It's way outside, 2-1. Aggies enter the weekend, or at least right now, sit at number 3 in the RPI nationally. It's not quite. I saw Softball America has a early bracketology. I didn't look at it because it's super early, but A&M right now 3rd in the country. That's high, 3-1. You want to talk about how good the league is? We all know. Listen to the top of the RPI. Florida, South Carolina, Texas A&M, LSU, Texas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So I would say I'm surprised, but not really.
No, I'm not, yeah. 3-1, and that is a ball, and that will drive in the 8th run of the game. RBI for KK are second of the game, and the Aggies up 8-0. Mack will score on that one. That will bring up Kylie Griffin. And rest assured, field crew, Frankie Brodel's on deck. Freshman got some moves. Here's Griff, the junior, 316 hitter with a double and 3 runs driven in, 6 for 19 at the plate this season with 3 runs scored. Outside, 1-0. You know what else I like too about this is these kids don't get a lot of opportunities to hit. You got an ineffective wild pitcher up the plate right now. They're not swinging at stuff they kind of shouldn't be for the most part. They're being patient at the plate. Way high off the glove of the catcher, and here comes the runner to the plate and scoring is Kelsey Mathis standing up. It is now 9-0 Texas A&M.
You know,
probably a wild pitch, as that was rather high.
Yeah.
That one bounces in, and the count is 3 balls and no strikes now to Griff. Frankie's on deck. Get those fat heads ready, field crew. Runners at second and third, nobody out. Griffin drives it into center field. Thomas will make the catch. Here comes the runner to the plate. Pretty good throw, and in to score, standing up, is Scout Lovell. That was a pretty darn good throw there by the center fielder Thomas, but the run scores, and it's 10-0 Aggies.
Yeah, that
sack fly.
That was a good throw to the plate. Scout looked like she just beat the throw.
As Frankie chops it off the plate, cues it foul to the right side for strike 1. Where's the...
They just had it out.
They had the fat head out?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. They also have to kind of get ready to drag the field in the 5th, but I think they can make the effort for Frankie. There we are. Field crew's back at it. They're locked in. That's their girl there, Frankie Brosel, the right fielder. 350 hitter with a homer and 13 runs driven in. She smokes that into center field, but right at Thomas. That was an absolute rope off the bat. It's a loud out number 2.
You want to talk about a player who's been consistent when she's called on, whether she's starting, when she comes off the bench. It does not matter. Her consistency at the plate this season, especially as a freshman, has been so impressive.
Well, here's the thing, too, about Frankie, is we've got Larissa Perez coming in to hit. She could pout and feel sorry for herself that she's not starting every game, but she's ready to go every time they've called on her to come in. Well, it's really fun to watch.
Absolutely. Yeah. Shout out to her, the fact that mentally she's in a headspace where she can just come in and just perform.
Here's Larissa Perez, the freshman out of San Antonio, 0 for 2 on the year with 2 runs scored. Walk, hit by pitch as well, so she's been on base twice. 2 outs, runner at second. That one bounces in. Blocked by the catcher, but that's going to allow KK DeMint to take third base on the wild pitch. There's another freshman looking for her first career hit as an Aggie. She'll be in at third base in the 5th inning. Way inside, 2-1. Top of the 5th in Athens, Georgia, 5-1 Mercer. One pitch, line, foul down the right field line.
That's a good piece. I'll tell you what, these midweeks can kind of creep up on you.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, we've talked about the Aggies not only taking care of business, but being in such a focused mode that you haven't seen them take their foot off the gas the entire time.
No.
And I'm not saying that these other teams are, but it could happen.
Yeah, it's high, 3-2 to Larissa. Well, and if they fall at a time when you're scuffling as a team, that kind of stuff can happen. For the Aggies, they're playing well, and so it's really fed into that. It's kind of added fuel to the fire, so to speak. You
right.
know? Like throw an extra, wood on the fire type thing, and
yeah.
they just continue to play consistently. There's a walk to Larissa. That's going to be, let's see here.
Now that in number 13, Amari Hartford.
5 walks. Feels like more than that, but 5 walks in the game for Prairie View pitching. Here's Amari. Swings on it and pops it into center field. Thomas camps under it and makes the catch for out number 3. Middle 2 innings for the Aggies. No hits, no runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts through 35 pitches. Swing and a slap and a miss, and the count's 0-2. Sydney readjusting that mask in the circle, put that back on. Pretty strong freshman campaign for her, man. We talked to Trisha about her and said, did you kind of know what you had with her? Like, did you think? And she's like, I thought I might have had a little bit of a diamond in the rough there. And it's been really interesting to watch her grow through this year. Just slap at third base. Larissa will field it in front of the bag. Nice throw to first, and they get her by a step. That is a nice play by the freshman Larissa Perez. That's her first, I think the first ball that's been hit at her in her Aggie career.
Yeah, nice play by Larissa Perez over at third. McKinley speedy getting that down to first base. But Perez with a bullet of a throw.
Here's Aaron Talley. Bounces that one in. And Kylie Griffin's going to come over and for Lessentine. Real briefly, but that's again for Lessentine, we've seen she kind of eased her into college, gave her some sort of what you would call lighter outings, and then she started to throw against some really big time teams, and she's really done pretty well. There's a swing and a miss, 1-1. Had a rough outing or two, but that's to be expected. Obviously set the record for strikeouts against Florida A&M, but came in against Florida, and we saw her against Auburn, and we saw her against Alabama. I mean, so that's and these are SEC teams that you're facing. Especially when you're growing up, just swing and a miss, strike 2. These are teams you watch on TV in the World Series.
Yeah, and it's, it feels big time, especially when you're a freshman coming into these situations, but I think she's handled it really well, and I think she's got a great head on her shoulders.
1-2. Swing and a miss.
Ball.
2 outs. And here's Isabella Rodriguez, who was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. Starts her with an off-speed pitch, misses 1-0. So once again, Texas A&M will be in Athens, Georgia this weekend. Georgia 25-10, currently losing to Mercer in the midweek. They are 18-5 at home entering tonight. Misses. Games will be 4 o'clock on Saturday. That's game 1, Saturday, a little different. ESPN2 has that one. Sunday, 4 o'clock, SEC Network. Monday, 5 o'clock, SEC Network is the scheduled times. It's a strike call, 2-1. Much like baseball, who's going to Knoxville, Tennessee, there is weather in the forecast, I think Sunday, so pay attention to our social channels for any possible changes to those schedules. But that is our schedule as it sits. Georgia 4-8 in SEC play. It's a swing and a miss, strike 2. A little deceptive, though, because they played a very tough schedule. They've lost all 4 series they played: Tennessee, South Carolina, LSU, and Alabama. They have not been swept, but they've lost all 4 of those series. That's a tough sled there. 2-2 the count now to Rodriguez. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that will do it. And the Aggies with a very businesslike 10-0